Hi, this is Mr. Buck, and today we're going to be talking about Itaggz. Itaggz is a software tool that does basically one thing. And actually, in my personal opinion, tools that do one thing and don't try to do everything tend to be better because the developer can concentrate on that particular point and get to the ground of it and make a better tool instead of trying to do a lot of different things, but none of them the right way. So that's one of the main things I do like about Itaggz. It does one thing, and basically this thing has to do with hashtags. And if you think about the name Itaggz and hashtags, you can come up to this point by yourself without having to think too much. So either way, Itaggz is launching pretty soon, and we want to take a look at it and see how good it actually is. So let's move on to the computer. So Itaggz is this software, as you can see here. This is the dashboard. One thing I do like about it is the fact that there's a lot of training, trying to explain exactly which best strategies you can use to increase your Instagram. Because, okay, we're talking about hashtags, but hashtags exist also in Twitter and other places. But mainly, this is only about Instagram and hashtags within it. So, as you can see here, you have the home. This is the page where we are, the so-called dashboard. Here's where you access the software, which is this one here. I'll show you in a couple of minutes a little bit more about it. And then you have everything else. It's tutorials, tips, blueprints, checklists, and stuff like that can help you. Obviously, the account type I have here is an agency type of this stuff. For instance, if you don't get the agency, you wouldn't be able to benefit from these options here. But if you get the main basic part, you get the most important part of it. You have basically two aspects of Itaggz. You have the main Itaggz software, this, with the search option that allows you to search tags or hashtags for businesses. And that is one thing you need to understand right here. Businesses that you see here is basically the names of Instagram user. For instance, here, this is what would be considered a business, the name of the Instagram account. And tags is normally what we know as hashtags, right? So this is what you will be using and dealing with in this software, Itaggz. But I want to go back to the dashboard for a couple of seconds and show you the other things that are available. You have main stuff, how to set up everything so that you can benefit the most from this software. You don't want to have just like a normal private account. You better have a business account, and this software here shows you how to set it up. Then you will see here, if I go right to the top, that you have a Facebook page connected. Why is that? At the beginning I was like, whoa, Facebook, and then it clicked in my head. Of course, Instagram belongs to Facebook. So in order to be able to have a business account and deal with all this kind of stuff, you need to connect your Instagram account to your Facebook page. Even if you don't have a Facebook page, that's interesting, Instagram will actually create it for you so that you have a Facebook page. So the Facebook page and your Instagram business account, they're always connected. And that's why you here have to connect that business account. You see, I'm connected to Facebook, and then you can use the software. So that's one important thing that you need to keep in mind. And then you see the other things here that you have. This the training about how to do the searching. That's why I'm not going to go that deep into how to use the different things, and because the software and the training is very practical and very detailed. How you can use and the strategy that you can apply in order to benefit from it. But there are two aspects, as I was mentioned a few minutes ago. One of them is the search tool, where you actually get to search for tags or hashtags. And let me try one example. For instance, if I were to positive mindset, right? So let's search for that. So what do I see? You see here, you have the post caption, you have the image, you have the hashtags or tags, how many likes, how many comments, and you can favorite the particular post, basically saved in a section where you can create categories. So you can save different posts and stuff that you find, or businesses, which basically means accounts, as I said before. So you can sort, and I find this practical. You can see a lot of how many likes people had, and you can say, okay, these hashtags and this post and this caption were somehow found attractive by most of the people. That's why the system or the post has a lot of likes and comments. And you can keep going down, and basically the system, what it does, it isolates these hashtags. But not only that, if you have the automation part of it, you can also have these hashtags sent to you per email. And let me show you basically how that email looks like. I will open I just received one. If you see here, there, the Itaggz daily business report. I use the same one that I just showed you for a second, the 4 millionaires. And if you see here, let me put it in a place where it's practical for you to see. You can see the posts, the report for the day, how many that you see the likes, you see and then you see the tags that were used. If you're working from your phone, you can actually copy those tags and create your own post, right? You have everything that you need. So basically that's the idea of the whole thing. You will get this email automatically every day if you get the automation option, which is the second option in the sales page. If you don't, then you have to do it manually, and let me show you how you can do that manually. So let's say you like this one, you want to have a copy of all this information sent to you, or you want to create an Excel file for this information. You mark the ones that you like, right? And then you have the export to an Excel file, or the email to a particular email address, or you can send it also as an Excel file. So this option here will save it locally, right? And this option here will send it to somebody as an Excel file, or just as an email, as you just saw on the when I showed you that on my telephone. So is it practical? I think if you appreciate your time and value your time, it is, because one of the things, if you're trying to set up a very practical strategy for Instagram to grow your list, to grow your numbers, to grow your amount of comments and likes, you should have the right hashtags. And you can find those hashtags by searching Instagram and testing and looking at different posts and stuff like that. But if you have an app like this, it will do it like in a second. You saw how fast it was. One thing I don't like that much, and let's go back to the computer to show you. Well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just like I think it's something you might not notice, or you might notice it, but you might not know why it's happening. So let's come for some posts here, like this one, right? You see this post, it has actually 3,374 likes, 401 comments, and yet no hashtags. How can that be? Well, the reason is because if there are hashtags, they might not have been on the caption itself, but on the first comment. And those hashtags don't get shown on this app somehow. It only shows the ones that are, if you see here, these hashtags are the same ones that are here. It's the same set of hashtags. If I go here, these hashtags are these hashtags here, the ones that are directly written in the caption. If the hashtags are written on the first comment, then they're not popping up here. If that is a disadvantage for you, then yeah, you know about it at least before you spend your money. However, I have been using it, and I think it helps, because I have had an account that I hadn't touched for like a while, like let's say 6 months or something like that. I'm starting again, and knowing which hashtags I can use actually has helped. I can show it to you here. Obviously, it's not like a super account. I have 1,701 followers. You see that? There is something happening. The last two that I posted recently, before, this is like relatively old. You can see this was done in January, right? And since then I hadn't done absolutely anything. And before that, the last time was actually in September 2017. So I stopped doing anything, and then I did this a few days ago, like in January. And in the last 2 days, I decided, okay, I'm going to restart testing this software. I'm going to see what happens, and did it. And people are commenting, you know, and people are liking it. And this is without having done anything special with it. Just copy the hashtags, put my own caption, make sure I'm putting the hashtags in the caption and not in the first comment, and it's working out. And that was like a thing of a second. You see, it sends me an email, I copy the email, I make my image, and I put it up. So this is just a look of the software. I hope you enjoy it. Just let me shortly show you how you schedule. If you get the automation part, you schedule a new image or a new email to yourself, either by picking a hashtag or by picking a business, right? And then you say how many likes, starting from what amount of likes you want to receive the emails. Let's say if you have like, if the person or the hashtag has less than 1,000 likes, don't send me that information in the email. If it has more, include it in the email, then you will type 1,000. The same thing with the comments, and then you put the email address, and it will automatically, like you see here, it will automatically send every day one email to your account with that information. And the interesting thing is, it doesn't have to be your email. If you have somebody who works for you, an assistant or something like that, it could be their email, and then they can use that information to, you know, post create your posts in Instagram. So I think this is enough to give you an idea of how the whole thing works. So this is Mr. Buck signing out.